news remains unselective. Then, punching the news at 6 in the morning and evening. That's why we are unbeatable. Newsnet, Liberia's news of the day on OKFM 99.5.
Today is Wednesday, the 18th day of July 2018. Welcome to Newsnet on OKFM 99.5. My name is Trokon, Freeman presenting, and the headlines: at long last, the much publicized bill for the impeachment of Justice Jana services at the House of Representatives, with the proponents, Representatives Gray and Fowler, citing the abuse of public office as the basis for the action. Public Works Minister Mambutu Nyepan threatens lawsuit against citizens found in violation of zonal regulations while attributing flooding in Monrovia and its environs to violations of the country's zonal laws. Like Justice Janan, President Weah Rick's impeachment as Moswara County District and lawmaker Yakat Kollie threatens to lead an impeachment proceeding against the Liberian leader, saying Dr. Weah has violated several provisions of the laws. And away from Liberia, Egypt's parliament has passed a controversial law that would allow the state to regulate social media newsers. The details of these stories and other developments, including the news bulletin, are packaged in today's presentation of the program. Please stay with us. Thanks for being there. Next is Augustine, Kollie, and the news bulletin. Augustine, good morning.
Good morning, Trokon. Good morning, everyone. House Speaker Dr. Buffer Chambers has constituted an ad hoc committee to probe a bill of impeachment of Associate Justice Kabena Jana by the legislature. Members of the committee include Representative Kano Weso, Edward Kafia, Vixen Sibo, and Jeremiah Kong, Isa Rowland, and Rosalind Dennis. A petition seeking the impeachment of Associate Justice of the Supreme Court of Liberia, Kabena Jana, has already been presented to the House of Representatives. Montserrat County Districts 5 and 8 representatives, Thomas Fowler and Akaros Gray, are the two proponents of the impeachment petition. Representative Fowler then graded in their petition to plenary Tuesday among several counts, accused Associate Justice Janet of what they termed as proved misconduct and abuse of public office. According to them, Associate Justice Janet has also abused the judicial discretion and power. An amendment of a motion by Representative Akaros Gray from Montserrat District 10 Representative Yake Kollie to remove the impeachment petition from the agenda was immediately denied. Representative Kollie, for his critical stance, was threatened by House Speaker Dr. Buffer Chambers of being thrown out of session. But the Montserrat County District 10 representative has threatened an impeachment bill against President George Weah for consistently breaching the Constitution since his ascendancy. Public Works Minister Mambutu Yimpan has attributed flooding in Monrovia and its environs to violations of the country's zonal regulations by residents. According to Minister Yimpan, there is a need to enforce the demolition of structures situated in waterways or alleys. In conversation with OKFM on Tuesday, Minister Yimpan said the recently passed budget by the National Legislature captures funding from such emergency situation, adding that the ministry will take drastic decisions to prevent such situation. The Liberian Public Works Minister also threatened lawful actions against citizens found in violation of zonal regulations. While considering the overflooding as an unfortunate situation, Minister Nyimpan cautioned citizens to avoid building on waterways, drainages, or alleys for the smooth passage of water in the city. For his part, the acting executive director of the Environmental Protection Agency, Randa Dobayu, said the agency is heavily engaged in the creation of environmental awareness that would stabilize the overflow of water in various communities. Director Dobayu maintains that the agency is currently involved with enforcing the EPA regulations that will bring effective change to national emergency in the country. Meanwhile, Police Inspector General Patrick Sudu says the police would ensure the free flow of traffic and protect properties of Liberians during the flood situation. Two prominent Liberians have criticized the president's speech surrounding the state of the economy while blasting the writer of the speech as a lazy writer. According to them, the president's speech failed to address the complex expectation of the ordinary people in regards with the hike in the price of basic commodities. They noted that the president's decision to infuse $25 million United States dollars into the economy to mitigate the high exchange rate is troubling. George Wisner, former executive director of the National Investment Commission, and Grebson Cheru, a Liberian journalist, stated that there is no clear measure indicated in the president's speech as to how the money will bring the economy up to speed. According to them, those assisting the president are providing misleading information, thereby creating a negative signal in the market. Senators up Capitol Hill Tuesday held a closed-door discussion with authorities of the Ministries of Finance and Commerce and the Central Bank of Liberia. The closed-door meeting by the Senate came as a result of invitations sent to authorities of the institutions to brief the Senate on the state of the economy. The meeting, which lasted for close to 3 hours, was attended by Finance Minister Samuel Tuer, Commerce Minister Wilson Tappe, and Acting Central Bank Governor Charles Salif. Speaking to reporters following the end of the closed-door meeting, President Pro Tem Abachi stated that the officials who appeared outlined more on the president's deliberation on the current state of the economy. Pro Tem Chia indicated that the Senate would also come out with stringent measures geared towards resuscitating the Liberian economy. For his part, Finance and Development Planning Minister Samuel Tuer told reporters that the statement of the president to infuse $25 million into the country's economy is strictly intended to create the demand of the Liberian dollars. According to him, the amount put forth by the president would not be given to any specific institutions or individuals. The House's Committee on State Enterprise and Labor have been mandated to probe allegations of illegal dismissal by the management of the Roberts International Airport. The decision was based on a communication by Maigibi County District 2 Representative Alpha Jones. Representative Jones in the communication confirmed the illegal dismissal of several individuals from the RIA. He added that Article 8 and 18 provide equal employment opportunities for all Liberians. The committees are expected to report in a period of 2 weeks. The government of Liberia, through the Ministry of Labor, has committed itself to the process about the development of a National Action Plan document that is to address child labor issues in Liberia from 2018 to 2030. Minister Moses Kollie said plans are on the way for full endorsement of said document by Cabinet, which sets the platform for addressing child labor through mainstreaming in all sectors of the economy. Minister Kollie made the commitment Tuesday at the official opening of the Legislative Reform Committee validation workshop on Haxadra's list for Liberian children. He at the same time extended gratitude to the Winrock International, the country-level engagement and assistance to reduce child labor, and the Lawyers Without Borders for partnering with the Ministry of Labor in achieving such goal. The House of Representatives Tuesday held its regular sitting in the joint chambers of the legislature over a reported leakage from its main chamber. The reported linkage of the House's chambers recently led to the rearrangement of Maryland County Raw in order to save the equipment. Amidst the holding of sittings in the joint chambers, Article 58 of the Constitution says both houses of the legislature shall meet on the 4th working Monday of January each year for the sole purpose of the State of the Nation's address by the President. At the same time, Rule 2 on the caption legislative period, a meeting place subsection 2.1 notes that daily sittings of the lower house shall be held Tuesdays and Thursdays of each week in their chamber. The House's rule maintains that the budget hearings shall be conducted in the joint chambers, including disagreements on key national issues, though in crisis. However, it remains unclear as to whether the Tuesday sitting of the House was consistent with the Constitution and their rules. Our reporter observed that the last time the House met in regular sitting in the joint chambers was during a legislative struggle that witnessed former Speaker Alex Tyler being removed. Following his removal, members of the 53rd Legislature reverted to the chamber of the lower house for the conduct of normal business activities. Chinese Ambassador Fu Jinchun has broken grounds for the erection of an electronic state-of-the-art digital billboard abroad around the streets in section. According to a release from the Ministry of Information, the board is part of China's continuous technical support to the information dissemination of the government of Liberia's pro-poor agenda. According to the release, Ambassador Fu Jinchun, speaking at the groundbreaking ceremony on Tuesday, expressed the government of China's commitment to the development of Liberia. The release quotes the Chinese ambassador as saying, "The billboard is another strong indication of the significance of the bilateral relationship between the People's Republic of China and Liberia." He disclosed that the digital billboard will be erected by China's Jiangsu Construction Engineering Group company. For his part, Assistant Information Minister for Information Services Samuel Wozi commended the government and the people of China for their continuous support to Liberia's development. Minister Wozi said the digital billboard erection is an expression of President George Weah's dedication to good governance through participatory democracy and open government initiatives. Some petty traders in the commercial hub of Town Tuesday attributed the slow pace of business activities to the heavy downpour of rain in Monrovia and its environs. The marketers Tuesday told OK News that the heavy rainfall has also undermined their early morning selling along the main street, thereby affecting their daily earnings. The two-day rain, which has created flooding for slum dwellers in the country, also hindered the movement of vehicles plying major streets in the city. The petty traders have meanwhile called on government through the Ministry of Public Works to address the drainage problems in the country. According to them, the poor drainage system is responsible for flooding in Monrovia. Tuesday's flooding also paralyzed the start of normal work activities at various government entities and private institutions in the country, as well as Monrovia was entirely locked down. At the legislature, the House of Representatives relocated its regular sitting to the joint chambers of that body due to linkage in its main chamber. A reporter who covered the capital said buckets were seen within the corridors to the main chamber of the House due to the linkage. At the Liberian Senate, Tuesday's sitting was delayed due to the heavy downpour of rain. A reporter said no senator was seen in the chamber of the Senate at 1:30 p.m. Commerce Inspector General Josephine Davis has reaffirmed her commitment to weed out expired products on the Liberian market. In conversation with this station Tuesday, Madam Davids noted that due to her work over the past months, some business people have begun complaining themselves to the Ministry of Commerce. She added that the inspection team at the Commerce Ministry remains unbending in its fight to ensure that the people of Liberia are healthy. Madam Davis has meanwhile assured President Weah and the people of Liberia that she will do everything possible to uphold transparency in her work. Police in Sino County have indicted 11 persons for allegedly obstructing the operation of Golden Beryllium Oil Company in Greenville District. According to reports, the 11 persons were also arrested for accusing the company's broad-based community chairman of collecting money from other community dwellers to be placed on the company's payroll. Our contact in Sino County said the 11 suspects of the Totmansville community further accused Chairman Soba Wise of not advocating in the interest of contractors. Christopher Weir further stated that the company's broad-based chairman Soba Wise, who filed in the report, is yet to appear for questioning at the police headquarters in Sino County. The founder of the Golden Image Award, Ambassador Julie Andy, has distanced bribes and favoritism from the awards to deserving individuals. Liberia since 2010 began honoring its citizens and other international individuals for contributions to society. Madam Andy indicated that the awards is intended to motivate others to take positive actions for the growth and development of the world. She lauded past and present government of Liberia for granting the awards, thus appealing for support. Ambassador Andy made the disclosure Tuesday ahead of the Golden Image Awards scheduled for Thursday. Also speaking during the occasion, child rights activist Sata Sharif called for concerted efforts in protecting women and children in society. Sharif recounted vices of torture and other inhumane treatment meted against them, which impedes their contribution to the world. At the same time, former Information Minister Emmanuel Boer has urged the parents to take corrective steps in upbringing of their children. Reverend Boyer added that Liberian children have been brain damaged due to the viewing of unauthorized movies. According to him, this situation is also leading to an older society addicted to alcoholic beverages. And African Methodist Episcopal Zion University's Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Martin Ritchie, says Liberia's democracy will forge ahead if there is a respect for the rule of law. Dr. Richards further stated that the respect of the rule of law is cardinal in any given society. He wants the security institutions in the country to always enforce the laws governing the state. The AME ZAYU's vice president made the comments Tuesday when he officially launched the Criminal Justice Association of Liberia in the country. For his part, president of the association, Jabo Ble, stated that the establishment of the group is to buttress the effort of government in creating civic education on criminal justice. Those were stories contained in the news bulletin.
Thanks to you, Augustine, Bill Kollie, for the news bulletin. Augustine is back here later on to summarize developments from the international world. It's 18 minutes past 6 o'clock in Monrovia. We just joining us listening to news net on OKFM 99.5. My name is Trokon, Freeman presenting in the headlines this morning. At long last, the much publicized bill for impeachment of Justice Janen's officers at the Houses of Representatives, with their proponents, Representatives Gray and Fowler, citing the abuse of public office as the basis for the action. Public Works Minister Mabutu Nyepa threatens lawsuit against citizens found in violation of zonal regulations while attributing flooding in Monrovia and its environs to violations of the country's zonal laws. Like Justice Janen, President Weir Rick's impeachment as Moswara County District and lawmaker Yeke Koluba threatens to lead an impeachment proceeding against Liberian leaders, saying Dr. Weir has violated several provisions of the law. And away from Liberia, Egypt's parliament has passed a controversial law that will allow the state to regulate social media news source. We'll take this short break and we'll come back. We'll bring you the voices of the news makers. Thanks for being there. Let's begin from Capitol Hill, where House Speaker Dr. Burford Chambers has constituted an ad hoc committee to probe a bill of impeachment of Justice Kabina Janin by the legislature. Members of the committee include Representatives Kano Wezel, Edward Kafia, Dixon Sibo, Jeremiah Kuhn, Arthur Rowland, and Rosalind Dennis. A petition seeking the impeachment of Justice Janin of the Supreme Court of Liberia has already been presented to the House of Representatives. Most for the County District 5 and District 8 Representative Thomas Farah and Carlos Gray are two proponents of the impeachment petition. According to them, Associate Justice Janin has also abused judicial discretion and power.
Based on existential necessity, we are naming the following individuals. Senator Kanye Weso, Honorable Edward Kafia, Honorable Dixon Sibo, Honorable Jeremiah Kuhn, Honorable Isaac Rowland, Honorable Clarence Gar, and Honorable Rosalind Suakoko Dennis. Distinguished colleagues, you are allowed to this august body in 3 weeks. That means after we shall have returned from our 26th break. It is hereby so ordered.
House Speaker Dr. Burford Chambers constituting a committee to look into petition coming from Representatives Thomas Farah and Akaros Gray. An amendment to a motion by Representative Akaros Gray from the Moswara County District Number 10 Yeke Kollie to remove the impeachment petition from the agenda was immediately denied. Representative Kollie, for his critical stance, was threatened by House Speaker Dr. Burford Chambers of being thrown out of sitting. But the Moswara County District 10 lawmaker has threatened an impeachment bill against President George Weah for constantly breaching the Constitution since his ascendancy, in his own words.
He violated everything. Everything have been violated by this president.
Why you hacking you?
And then he's telling the Liberian people to hold their heart. We should be holding our heart. He's building all his property. He should be holding a heart to stop building his property in this country. You understand what I'm saying? If anybody is to be impeached in the country, it's Ambassador we are, because he has violated everything in the country. And right after our break, there will be impeachment bill for him. I can assure you that.
A tough talking Yeke Kollie of Moswara County District Number 10 speaking to legislative reporters on Capitol Hill yesterday. Monrovia and environs were locked down due to heavy flooding. Public Works Minister Mabutu Vlad attributed the flooding in Monrovia to violations of the country's zonal regulations by residents. According to Minister Yeban, there is a need to enforce the demolition of structures situated in waterways or alleys.
We have a situation of people not observing zoning regulations. We have a situation of people not even taking care of drainages in the community. And so all of what we have today is cumulative results of some of the problems that we've been talking about in our various communities, appealing to our people to observe zoning regulations, appealing to our people to take care of drainages in the community. But notwithstanding, we have a mandate, we have a responsibility to respond to these issues, and that's why we are here today. And as you can see, the Ministry of Public Works has the situation under control, and what we will do today will be a search that will not have a repeat of this unfortunate situation. And so what we are doing is first and foremost to respond to the situation and bring relief to our people who are stranded. And in the meantime, our involvement and the solution we are finding will not be temporary. We'll make sure that it is a permanent solution. We'll also make sure that those who violate zoning regulations will have to feel the weight of the law.
Public Works Minister Mabutu Vlad speaking to journalists, including OKFM's Augustine Kollie. For his part, the acting executive director of the Environmental Protection Agency, Ronald Dubayo, said the agency is heavily engaged in the creation of environmental awareness that would stabilize the overflow of water in various communities.
The structure you are referring to, this structure as per the law, before you erect any structure, public works must give you a zoning permit. And when you obtain that zoning permit, you come to the EPA, you go through the process of ESIA, the Environmental Social Impact Assessment. I can testify clearly. All of these structures right here, they did not acquire EPA permit, and so they were illegally placed here. In fact, this structure was demolished 2 times by the EPA. The proponent is extremely stubborn, and as a result of his stubbornness and the stubbornness of all the other people around here, community dwellers and Liberians today are faced with this intense, unfortunate issue of emergency. A media practitioner, you are challenged to go in the communities and tell Liberians that, wait a second, did you obtain permit to do what you are doing? Liberia ourselves, we are on problem. When you look at alleyway, we look at waterway, and we found it pleasurable to build in the waterway, to build in wetlands.
The acting executive director of the Environmental Protection Agency of Liberia, Randall Dubai, via speaking. Meanwhile, Police Inspector General Patrick Suru says the police will ensure the free flow of traffic and protect properties of Liberians during the flooding situation.
Well, it means our people have to go to work and go to their businesses. So, looking at the situation here that we had a terrible flood, we have to do everything possible to ensure that the traffic is open. We made a contact with the disaster management agency, and they are working along with the police. We have deployed our men all over, and we trying to assist our citizens who are homeless to ensure that they go on high ground to protect their property. Well,
Police Inspector General Patrick Suru speaking. The House of Representatives Tuesday held its regular sitting in the joint chambers of the legislature over a reported leakage from its main chamber. The reported leakage of the House's chamber recently led to the rearrangement of Maryland County Road in order to save the equipment. Amidst the holding of sittings in the joint chambers, Article 58 of the Constitution says both houses of the legislature shall meet on the 4th working Monday of January each year for the sole purpose of the State of the Nation address by the President. At the same time, Rule 2 and on the caption Legislative Period Meeting plays subsection 2.1. Those and daily sittings of the lower house shall be held Tuesdays and Thursdays of each year in their chamber. The house's rule maintains that the budget hearing shall be conducted in the joint chambers, including disagreements on key national issues to in crisis. However, it remains unclear as to whether the Tuesday sitting of the house was consistent with the constitution of the body. A reporter observed that the last time the House met in regular sitting in the joint chambers was during a legislative struggle that witnessed former Speaker Ellis Taylor removed. Following this removal, members of the 53rd legislature reverted to the chamber of the lower house for the conduct of normal business activities. Police in Sano County have invited 11 persons for allegedly obstructing the operation of Golden Ferrarium Oil Company in Greenville District. According to reports, 11 persons were also arrested for accusing the company's broad-based committee chairman of collecting money from other community dwellers to be placed on the company's payroll. Christopher Weir is our contact via in Greenville, and he files this report.
Those guys were placed on detention bench. They are currently on detention bench as we speak, and they are being investigated one at a time. And when we get there, we get to know that instead of the honorable superintendent inviting those guys for clarification, it was the county information officer who is also the broad-based chairman that accompanied them to the police. But actual information here is it was on last Friday. We understand that a group of people of those guys that were invited, they went to GDO and they pushed up to at least 6 contractors that are operating in that part of the county, and they understand that they are taking contracts from GDO. But the broad-based committee here about our summer, which according to the
Christopher, where is a counterfeit in Sano County? Commerce Inspector General Josephine Davis has reaffirmed her commitment to weed out expired products on the Liberian market. In conversation with the station Tuesday, Madam Davis noted that due to her work over the past months, some business people have begun complaining themselves to the Ministry of Commerce.
We are still reports. Like I gave you my quarterly report. This is my first report. The quarterly report, the announced and unannounced inspection. The quarterly report. When you go at the back, you will see there are a lot of businesses, big importers who are complaining themselves. Rest importers. One just brought rest a few days. He complained himself that he have 2,000 spoil rice, which of course it was not done in the past. So once you informing us, it means that if you tell us, look, we have expired product, it means that we're just going to get rid of it. No, we do the inspection on the entire premises to make sure that the product that the information you're giving us is true.
Commerce Inspector General Josephine Davis there speaking. Two prominent Liberians have criticized the president's speech surrounding the state of the economy while blasting the writer of the speech as a lazy writer. According to them, the president's speech failed to address the complex expectations of the ordinary people in regards with the hike in the price of basic commodities. They noted that the president's decision to infuse $25 million into the economy to mitigate the hard exchange rate is troubling. George Wisner, former executive director of the National Investment Commission, and Gibson Cheru, Liberian journalist, stated that there is no clear measure indicating the president's speech as to how the morning will bring the economy up to speed.
Point out is that the writer of the speech is very lazy. The writer of the speech is a very lazy person. If I were the president, you'd never write my speech again. When you write speech for a high-profile individual like this, addressing a very complex national issue, you needed to be sober-minded and touch every department that the people want to hear. How can you focus an entire speech just on foreign exchange? What happened to the basic commodities? Because this is not just a foreign exchange issue. So the writer was very lazy. I want to say to everyone here that I believe the $25 million that is trying to infuse into the economy is very small. It's going to be sucked up by the economic cartel very easily and fast. They are going to rush in there, take that $25 million and hold it, and we are still going to go back to the same process. But the president we don't need any analysis of the issue. The people have been analyzing the financial issue forever. What we wanted to hear from the president was austerity measures put in place to curtail or to help the system or to help the process to advance from step 1 to step 2 to alleviate the suffering of the people.
The president indicated that he inherited a reserve that was at an all-time low. I think those who again incited this in the president's speech gave him misleading information.
He's George Wisner, former executive director of the National Investment Commission. Via speaking earlier, you listened to Gibson Cheru, a Liberian journalist. They both spoke when they appear on the OK Afternoon Conversation. The founder of the Golden Image Award, Ambassador Julie Andy, has distanced bribes and favoritism from the awards to deserving individuals. Liberia, since 2010, began honoring their citizens and other international individuals for contributions to society. Madam Andy added that the award is intended to motivate others to take positive actions for the growth and development of the world.
This award has 8 categories that is placed with the recipient: education, development, empowerment, leadership, service, democracy and the rule of law, peace and security, health, humanity, human rights, arts, and culture. Having said that, I know you know about the award now. So we don't give the award for money. We don't give it to you because you are aligned with politicians. We don't give it to you because you have a name. We give it to you based on these categories that I have named. So I've come to tell you the award is for you. Thursday we'll be meeting. If you don't get an invitation, it's only because the place is small. But if you have a TV, you can watch the TV because it will be live on TV.
Crusader for Peace Executive Director Ambassador Judy Andy Veer also speaking to the occasion, child rights activist Sata Sharif called for concerted efforts in protecting women and children in the society.
If the women of Liberia, if the government of Liberia, and if all of us as citizens in Liberia do not work together to ensure that these issues are reduced or better still eliminated, it means the future or the tomorrow's agenda for Liberian women will be crippled. Because if all of these things continue to affect us, when they have the opportunity to come to the women's forum again, because we've been talking about we are not in school, we are being sexually abused, we have high increase in rape, sexual exploitation, and all of these issues.
Sharif Veer speaking at the same time, former Information Minister Demando Boye has urged parents to take corrective steps in the upbringing of their children. Reverend Boye added that Liberian children have been brain damaged due to the viewing of unauthorized movies.
All of our women should be celebrating the fact that we have those trees, because it was the prayer of the Liberian women that caused the yellow fever to go. But because we're too used to video machines in Liberia now, so we don't sit down and say once upon a time. You buy one video machine, you give it to your children, you give them money to go rent the video, they put it in, and you're going to drink liquor. So nobody telling the children anything.
Former Information Minister Emmanuel Boye, let's now bring you some reactions on our top stories we posted last evening, beginning with James Napla Postal Fala. OKFM, if Liberia is to move forward, the impeachment submitted by Representative Gray and Representative Fala, as well as the proposed impeachment against President George Weah, which is sponsored by Representative Yeke Kollie, should all be thrown in the ocean. OKFM, Liberians need solution now to stop this hardship. Frankly, this is not time to talk plenty, but it is time for working. OKFM let me comment the EPA and Public Works Minister for doing what they were appointed to do, and the Liberia needs to leave from this level because she is completely damaged. Randa Julius Malima Kamuga writes, OKFM, this tactics of Representative Moses Akaras Gray to impeach Justice Janin is dead upon arrival because it's intended to take the people's attention from the real issues, that is the economic hardship and the forcing of Sir Joseph and Marvin Code on them to be voted. Fellow Liberians, thanks to the EPA, ED, and DED in Mr. Blaman and Mr. W for the exposing Beer Mountain Company that has been in constant pollution of water sources in Gola Corner District and Kema County, thus leaving people without safe drinking water, which is a slap in the face of SDGs, Goal 6, and violation of our environmental laws. Tito Edward Beslow. Good morning, OKFM. Impeachment is not what matters now. What matters now is reducing the hardship on the Liberian people and the lawmakers reducing their salaries. I pray and hope that these lawmakers that are calling for impeachment rethink their decision and focus on improving our devastating economy. The District 10 lawmaker needs to know the difference between honorable men and former. No, this is not too healthy for Aaron. J. Napoleon Magio. Good morning, OKFM. Liberians. Impeachment of Justice Janet is unrealistic, unpatriotic, undemocratic, unconstitutional, and counterproductive to our fragile democracy. Moreover, Representative Gray and Representative Fowler should remember that Justice Janet, like the lawmakers, cannot be held liable for actions or decisions taken as a judge or representative. They are doing this because of greed, selfishness, political affiliation, and Justice Janin a critical stance against ills in society, especially his dissenting views on the elections case. Secondly, our priorities are but not limited to the reduction in basic commodities US rate, job creation, among others. Vanny Sherman, good morning, OKFM. Let Honorable Gray focus on revamping the Maritime Bureau that would impact the lives of the poor people of Liberia, since he is the chairman of Maritime. Let us leave this impeachment business, because if you continue to haul rope will haul bush. Let's continue with more developments. African Methodist Episcopal Zion University's Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Martin Riches, says Liberia's democracy will forge ahead if there is respect for the rule of law. Dr. Riches stated that the respect of the rule of law is cardinal in any given society.
For our democracy to triumph or make progress, we need law enforcement. We need justice and correction for those that will be allegedly charged, and those that need to go to court, those that will be convicted, to be corrected. Because of that, to safeguard our democracy, the police must enforce the law and protect lives and property without fear or favor. The army must defend the territorial integrity and boundaries of our country. Any society that does not have strong police force and strong army, you can easily be overrun by other people.
The Vice President of the AME Zion University speaking, he made a comments Tuesday when he officially launched the Criminal Justice Association of Liberia in the country. He's Dr. Martin Riches. For his part, the president of the association, Jabu Wule, stated that the establishment of the group is to buttress the efforts of the government in increasing civic education on criminal justice.
We want to help government in some of the areas that they have. One, our intent is to help government push civic education through criminal justice. Two, our intent is to unify criminal justice institutions, including practitioners. This association is an association that we've all been fighting for. Today, July 17, is a remarkable day in our lives.
Jabu Wule is the president of the Criminal Justice Association. We are speaking at a program here in Monrovia. The House's Committees on State Enterprise and Labor have been mandated to probe allegations of illegal dismissal by the management of the Rabos International Airport. The decision was based on a communication by Makibi County District to Representative Ava Jones. Representative Jones in the communication confirmed the illegal dismissal of several individuals from the RRA. He added that Article 8 and 18 provide equal employment opportunities for all Liberians.
Workers that complain, other 24 workers who are listed here, 6 was called and were asked to remove their name from the list. And out of the 6 were employed and 17 was immediately dismissed.
Representative Ava June of Makibi County there speaking. And let's take this last local development. The government of Liberia, through the Ministry of Labor, has committed itself to the process by the development of a national action plan and document that is to address child labor issues in the country. Minister Moses Kollie said plans are on the way for full endorsement of said document by cabinet, which sets the platform for addressing child labor through mainstreaming in all sectors of the economy.
To take immediate and effective measures to eradicate forced labor, end modern slavery and human trafficking by 2030, as well as secure the prohibition and elimination of all forms of child labor, including recruitment and use of child soldiers, and by 2025, end child labor in all forms. The government of Liberia, through the Ministry of Labor, has committed itself to this process by the development of the National Action Plan now, document that is to address child labor issues in Liberia for 2018 to 2030.
Liberia's Labor Minister Moses Kollie. Let's take a few comments, and of course then we close up with the foreign news. Victor Monga Player Jr. Haddock FM, the speaker should not be angry with critical voices. He was once in that same shoes. A flexible general. Good morning, OKFM. The crafting of the bill to impeach Justice Janet is of no news to this nation because we are faced with serious economic crisis. If Gray and others are looking for someone to impeach, I think they should be President Weah because he had violated several parts of the Constitution. Ambassador Eric Paulo Collins. Good morning, OKFM. He says nothing. Jenny's as Camo, that is our last comment. I don't blame Yaket. He been pitiful, but we Seditians decided to feel sorry for him, so he has voice now to talk against our president. At this point, we rejoin Augustine Bill Kollie to bring you the foreign news.
Egypt's parliament has passed a controversial law that will allow the state to regulate social media users. Under the law, a personal social media account, blog, or website with more than 5,000 followers could be considered a media outlet and subject to media law. Critics say the legislation would increase the authorities' ability to crack down on free speech and dissent. A number of opposition activists have been arrested in recent months on charges of spreading false news online. Tens of thousands of people have been detained in Egypt since 2013 when the military overthrew Mohamed Morsi, Egypt's first democratically elected president, following mass protests against his rule. The new law, passed on Sunday by 2/3 of members of parliament, placed popular accounts on Facebook, Twitter, and other social media platforms under the supervision of Egypt's media regulator, the Supreme Council for the Administration of the Media. Barack Obama has used his first high-profile speech since stepping down as U.S. president to say you have to believe in facts. His comments are seen as a report to the current U.S. administration's use of alternative facts. Without facts, there is no basis for cooperation, he said, at the annual Nelson Mandela lecture in South Africa. Mr. Obama said that he could find common ground with people who disagree with the Paris Accord on climate change, which Donald Trump wants to pull the U.S. out of if they have an argument based on fact. A moment later, Mr. Obama told the audience of 15,000 people, it used to be if you caught them lying, they said, oh man, now they just keep on lying, he completed. His speech is part of events to mark 100 years since the birth of former South African President Nelson Mandela, who died in 2013 at age 95. The foreign news.
With those foreign developments about Augustine Bill Kollie, we conclude today's presentation of news on OKFM 99.5. Many thanks for listening and thanks for watching as well. Before we go, here are the top stories we followed in today's presentation. At long last, the much publicized bill for the impeachment of Justice Janet surfaces at the House of Representatives, with the proponents grade and father citing abuse of public offices as the basis for the action. Public Works Minister Mambutu Nyepan threatens a lawsuit against citizens found in violation of zonal regulations while attributing flooding in Monrovia and its environs to violations of the country's zonal laws. like Justice Janet, President Weah Rick's impeachment as Moswara County District 10 lawmaker Yeka Kollie threatens to lead an impeachment proceeding against a Liberian leader, says Dr. Weah has violated several provisions of the laws. And away from Liberia, Egypt's parliament has passed a controversial law that will allow the state to regulate social media users. Augustine Bill Kollie brought you the news bulletin of foreign developments. Eddie Ponin started controls and handled all of the sounds. My name is Trokon Freeman. I presented a pleasant good morning from Monrovia.